Thank you very much for inviting me here, and it's an honor to be here, especially for two reasons. First, it's empowerment of women, which is very important for me, and the second is creativity. So both of these fields are very important. I'm happy to somehow contribute and give you my experiences. In terms of women empowerment, I also believe in equality. So for me, like feminism is equality. But for countries like ours, actually, in order to really become equal, it's important to empower women. So that's why this is done. And thanks very much, Finland and Creative Caucasus and all the people involved for giving us this opportunity to share and for other people to hear. And in terms of creativity, I have to speak from Georgia's perspective. Unfortunately, I cannot speak from Armenian and Azerbaijan perspective, but I'm sure it's the same. But I really believe that creativity is the field and maybe a characteristic that is that Georgians are really good at, and that's why and obviously in the whole world, like the humans and people are going to this direction, and I really believe that Georgians have a lot of potential to strive in this field. So this is why it's very important to show people how they can be creative, how they can somehow launch their projects in these fields, and also maybe earn a living from this. So thank you very much, Kati, for putting like this in numbers. Like you have put the creative industries in numbers, which is really amazing. And obviously, like apart from numbers, there's also these qualitative characteristics and benefits that creative industries bring. But it's really important to see also this in numbers, because for some of the people, it's very visible more this way. So I wish that Georgia, the country of Georgia, the government of Georgia becomes more active in this field. There's things done, but there's a lot to be done, especially in visual arts, which I represent here. So this is kind of the hope, and it's really good to see the examples of other countries. So who am I? I'm Natia Bukia. Actually, I don't like labels very much, because I've come from a very different field. So now I'm a gallerist, like mainly most of my time goes towards this field, but I also do other things, and I don't want to limit myself to this only, because I think that creative people and entrepreneurs, they have to be very open and like always see new opportunities, and you don't really need to limit yourself to one role or the other. Like the only label that will be with me forever is that I'm also a mother of 3. So yes, so that's the thing that will always stay with me, and the rest, now I'm a gallerist, but we're gonna see. So now I'm gonna move to my presentation. It's gonna be mainly about my projects. So I said that I come from a very different field. So I come from a field of finance, actually, and accounting and business management. So like all of my educations have been in finance, accounting and business management. I did an MBA, 2 degrees in London. I've never studied art, unfortunately, but I consider myself to be self-taught. So, and I've worked in this field also, like several years, but after I finished my MBA, I came back to Georgia, and I was working in finance for production, like a manufacturing company, and because before somehow, like that field really excited me, but after, when I came back, I realized that this wasn't very exciting anymore for me, what I was doing. So I was really upset, and like I had my first child, and I was pregnant on my second child, and I was like, I was just looking for opportunities. And at that time, and also now in Georgia, there are so many, like it's a country of opportunities. Obviously, for all the countries that are developing, there's so many opportunities. So I was looking more in terms of like business mindedness. So what could be a good opportunity? And obviously, the internet has fascinated us all. So you know, like this, that interested me very much. So then I was in London with my two friends, just visiting, and we were just thinking what opportunities are there in Georgia. And actually art and contemporary art has always been my passion, and I wasn't that, I always would go to museums and galleries when I would travel, because I would get, then I realized, I was thinking for a term of what I would get from art, and I realized just very recently that I would get food for thought. Really, for me, when I see a really amazing work of art, it is it triggers my mind. I start to think about issues which are very important. So that's why I think art is really important, has an amazing power, and I think somehow, although it didn't start like this, it's more was I got just lucky. I think that I ended up in this field, but I think that's why I connected my life to art, because I think it has amazing power in all of our lives. It can show you a problem which you have seen 1,000 times maybe before, but in a way that would really move you and would really impact you. So it's very important. So this was in 2014. We were just talking, and we came up with the idea that Georgian artists have a lot of potential, so we have to start an online gallery to give artists more international exposure. So it happened in 2014, Project ArtBeat. That's how we named our gallery. It was more, at the beginning, it was an online gallery and moving, but we also wanted to somehow contribute to the local art scene. So we came up with the idea to have a moving gallery, because in Georgia, unfortunately, now it has been becoming more and more active, but at the time, everything that was happening was only happening in Tbilisi, and you would see all the same faces at the openings or the museums you would go. So I was sure that art, it's very important for everybody to encounter art, so we decided to bring art to people. So our gallery, it's and from the beginning, we started also we wanted to give Georgian artists international exposure. So from the beginning, together with our online gallery, we started to go to international art fairs, very actively. So our moving gallery, which we started in 2014, it's a moving gallery, it's a shipping container. So our architect friend, he suggested that with this idea, he paired this concept that we could have a shipping container, which is more or less easy to move, and we have had how many, 20 exhibitions already, and apart from Tbilisi, we have had exhibitions in Kutaisi, Batumi, Altobo, Tel Aviv, Sirnari, Nokalakavi, and Dozurgeti. So this project is still ongoing, and it's very important for us, and it's more a social project, and although it requires a lot of resources, both human and financial, we continue this project because it's very dear to us, and we also think it's very important. But so these are the exhibitions that you can see, some installation shots. This is in Nokalakavi, a two-artist show. Then this was in Batumi. Actually, we have had a horrible, this exhibition I really don't because we have had such problems from the, unfortunately, the Batumi, then Bulvari director, who didn't, at the beginning they said they would allow us to put our shipping, our moving gallery in Bulvari, but then they said it's this ugly, we wouldn't put this ugly gallery in the boulevard, this beautiful boulevard. So on the day of the opening, I just flew in Batumi, and I was going around like crazy, looking for places, and then just randomly I met my friend who was working in Silk Road Group, and they allowed, this is the, very close to here, just in front of Botanico, and they allowed us to put it there. And actually this exhibition, it was beautiful, but also with this exhibition, the artist Guanța Gishkariani, with this project, she won Tsinandali Prize, which is the main art prize in Georgia. And this is in Tel Aviv. Irakli Bugiani, he did this installation, which is like a kaleidoscope. It was very nice. It's always, I always, at the openings, I'm always in the container to see the reaction of people. It's really amazing. They're very open and they ask questions, so they're really interested. And then we started growing so much, and we also went to international art fairs. So like a lot of people asked us that when we come to Tbilisi, where can we see your gallery? And actually the moving gallery, it's like we didn't have exhibitions all the time. So we realized we needed we moved to a more traditional, like a traditional contemporary art gallery. And we opened a permanent space on Ingoropa Street. It is in a historic building. We were also lucky with that. We found an amazing space, which is like, this building is more than 100 years old, and we have had 18 exhibitions in 2 years. We have exhibitions all the time, both solo and group exhibitions, and we also try to invite international artists in both solo and group exhibitions. And so there are some exhibitions I'm going to show you. So this is our space. This is Mamuka Japaridze's solo exhibition, Works from Archive. He's a very important contemporary artist who started in the 80s and 90s, and he's very important for Tbilisi art scene. This is John Rippenhoff's exhibition. He's American, so we met in Miami, and I invited him, and he was very keen to come, and we were also happy. And it was a collaborative project, so for us, collaboration is very important. So we always like to find people who are also value this. And so these are actually his sculptures. So this is his sculpture. So he builds his own not torso, but legs, and then it's kind of giving place for other artists. So giving space for them to exhibit. So the works on top, it's different Georgian artists. So he exhibited Georgian artists on his works. And then we also try to collaborate with different festivals in Georgia. So this was part of Tbilisi Photo Festival. We did a photography exhibition. So this is very rare Gigo Gabashvili photographs from the 1910s. Early 1910s and 20s. And then this is also so Avtomesris exhibition. This is also important because he died recently, and he was a very overlooked artist. He didn't even have a house in the end. He was living in a homeless shelter, and we didn't discover him, but with the help of his some artist friends, we found out about him, and we bought some works from him, and we would support him in his last months of his life. And unfortunately, he had a very tragic life. He died in a car accident, unfortunately. But then we had his solo exhibition, and we also brought his works to Art Dubai, and we're gonna do his book very soon. So we try to give credit to him what he deserved, but unfortunately he never got it when he was alive. And as I mentioned, we do a lot of international art fairs, which is very important for our artists. So we've done 25 art fairs since we've started in 2014, and the most important ones are NADA Miami, Untitled Miami, Art Dubai. We are going for the 4th time there. It's really good for us. Artissima, Contemporary Istanbul, Volta Basel, and so on and so on. These are some installation shots from, this is the most recent one in Miami in December. We had 2 different female artists, more established one, and the first conceptual female artist, Keti Kapanadze, and Tamo Jugeli. She is a young self-taught artist. The paintings are by Tamo, and the rest is by the conceptual artist. Then this is Untitled Miami 2018 with Maya Naveriani's solo presentation. This is Irakli Bugiani at Art Dubai, and also Avtomesris' work in the middle. This is Contemporary Istanbul. This works by Anna Kei. Actually, she represented Georgia at the 58th Venice Biennial, and we were the organizers of the pavilion. So here are some important projects we did, and the biennial project is one of the biggest one. And actually, we collaborated with Ani Raboshenko, who is also here, and she was the commissioner of the pavilion, and we were the organizers, and it was really good. Then we did some, there was an exhibition of Georgian artists at the Beijing International Art Biennial, and we were one of the people who contributed and organized it. Then we collaborate with, as much as they let us and give opportunities, we collaborate with the Georgian National Museum. So we have done shows at the National Gallery, but also Svaneti Mestia Museum 2 times. We have also brought Oscar Murillo's Frequencies project to Tbilisi, which was very important for us, and we have exhibited Brian Griff. So here is I'm going to show you also. So here is the Georgian Pavilion at the Venice Biennial in 2019. This is the Beijing Biennial. this is Natia Bukia's solo exhibition at the National Gallery, which we organized. This is the Brian Griffin's exhibition, this very important photo series, Mother Georgia, which was done in 1990, and actually creative director of Comme des Garçons, Ray Kawakubo, she's very fond of Pierre Osmani, apparently, and so she brought Brian. He's very important and well-known photographer from Britain, so he brought Brian to do a photo shoot in Kakheti. And we were the first one we contacted Brian, and we were the first one to exhibit this photo series in Tbilisi, and it was like a big thing because the photos are really amazing. Like Ray, she styled locals with their own clothes, but also Comme des Garçons, and the photography is also brilliant. And our last collaboration with an international gallery, so we exhibited Guanza Jishkariani's exhibition at Ballon Rouge Club, which is in Belgium, Brussels, and also they also brought a French artist to the gallery. Now we have that exhibition. And I cannot keep track of time, so I have no idea how much I've spent. Like, do I have some time? So this is Project ArtBeat, more or less. Like what I could say is also very important that somehow it turned out that the whole team is women. Although we didn't intend it to be like this, but I think in the creative fields in Georgia, like after our gallery opened, like there have been several galleries which opened in Tbilisi, which is amazing. We also have Tbilisi Art Fair for 2 editions now, and all the galleries in Tbilisi are women. So it's really great. We are very happy about it, and also more than half of our artists are females. And just now, me and my partner, we were saying that now it turns out that our program is woman solo exhibition, woman solo exhibition, woman solo exhibition, woman solo, and we are like, we want, like this is not right. Like we have to put our male artists also in because like. And obviously, like, we want equality, but also, like, we cannot, like, how many years have to pass that, like, this becomes equal? So it's fine, as long as we are open to everything. But, like, I'm really happy that so many women entrepreneurs and creatives in this field, because I think we have more to say, because we didn't have an opportunity to do so before. So it's good. We have this drive, and as long as we have the opportunity, we're gonna do so. And also, like, another project which I'm very proud of, and I think it's very important, is that as I got education in England, and like I've seen so many private funds, like always I would get emails from the university that you could apply for this scholarship, that scholarship, and then when I came to Georgia, I never realized like there is this state university and there is this government grant, but the government grant is given to students, like it's not the proper way to do it because it's just the exams, the national exams, and that's it, and it doesn't take into consideration to which school the children have gone to, whether they had good teachers or not, and actually a lot of would-to-be students in Tbilisi, the ones that have the opportunity and their parents have the funds, they get private tutors, but a lot of the people, young people who are from villages and regions, they don't have this possibility, so it's obvious that it's not equal, so they don't have, it's very difficult for them to get a government grant. So then I watched some TV program, and there was this girl, Tina, who was studying at Gori State University, and she was working as in the street to clean the streets at night so that she could pay her tuition. And it struck me for the first time that in Georgia, there are people who want to go just to state universities, not go to, abroad to like these prestigious universities, but just to like Gori State University, and they don't have money to do this. So it struck me that there is no scholarship, like a private scholarship fund. So me and my friend, we started this in 2015, so every year we sponsor like around 20, sometimes more than 20 students, and we have both private and private companies and also individual donors. And I think this is an opportunity not only for the people that we sponsor, but for the people for our donors also, because for some people, like, education has been very important and they would like to contribute somehow, but there was no private fund where they could trust and they can go and give money and they know this is going to go to a good cause. So I think we also gave opportunity to those people, and actually, so obviously this fund is also equal. It's not only for women, but like 99% of our beneficiaries have been women this year, and last year it has been only women. So that has also something to say about women in Georgia, but also about the situation. Like it also has bad implication, but bad reasons, because in families, unfortunately, around Georgia, women are supposed to marry, so their husband is gonna support them, and so when they have to choose to whom to give education, unfortunately, but I don't blame these parents. So unfortunately, they choose boys, because the boy has to support their wife and the wife can get supported. So maybe that's another reason, that with my observation and talking to these kids, that I've found out, but hopefully it's gonna change, and very happy to see all of you here, and if you have any questions, please.